Hi, third graders. Today, you just watched a video on editing. Remember, yesterday we watched revising, and I said revising is something only you can do because it's your story, your thoughts, your information. Editing is something anybody can do. And in my classroom, we actually have fancy red pencils that we use to edit each other's work. We want to catch those mistakes before you start to publish your first draft. So, what is editing? You watch that video, so hopefully you understand that it's making your writing look better by fixing those mistakes. And just like yesterday, when you revise, you can remember to use the word star to help you with the things that you need to do on the checklist. Today, when you edit, you can remember the word cups, and I drew a picture of some coffee cups right there. So each letter stands for something that you need to do when you are editing your work, okay? And you might have to edit somebody else's at some point. You need to know what that means. C stands for capitals. You want to make sure there are capital letters in the right words and in the right place. We never have a capital letter in the middle of a word. Things like names, places, titles of things, the months, the days, right, of the week. The first word in a sentence is always capitalized. That's a no excuse capital. You know that from kindergarten. The U stands for usage. So how did you use the words? Basically means, is your grammar correct? Does it sound right? Right? Does it make sense? Does it sound like language, like how you would have a conversation with somebody? So if it doesn't sound right, you need to go back and you need to fix it up. The P stands for punctuation. And again, you learned this in kindergarten, right? Every sentence has to end with some punctuation. It might be a question mark, it might be an exclamation point, or it might be a period. And if you've got dialogue in your story, right? Conversation between people, you have those talking marks, we like to call them, right? That go around what people say. So you want to make sure you add that in there as well. The S stands for spelling. You need to check all your words for correct spelling. Does it have to be perfect? No, but I want you to do what you know. Sound out, right? The sounds in the word. Think about the beginning sound, the ending sound. Think about those patterns that you've learned about, the vowel teams. Try your best to spell things as correctly as you can. Red words, however, those are no excuse words. You've learned a lot of red words in kindergarten, in first grade, and second grade. You should be able to recognize them when you read, but you should also be able to spell them correctly. So make sure your red words are spelled correctly. And then finally, homophones. You know, homophones are those two words that sound the same, but they have different meaning. So I might use the word aunt in my story, and I mean a person, like my Aunt Sue. But you have written it differently, and you've written down the word that means the insect, the ant, insect. So make sure you're using the correct homophone if you have a word like that that could have more than one spelling and more than one meaning. So remember, when you edit, right, that's something that anybody could go back to check. You can have people check for capitals, check does it make sense, check for punctuation, check for spelling, right? Anybody can do that, but only you can revise. So today your job is to go back into your story, see if you can focus on one of those letters. I like to start with the C. Look all throughout your story for where capital letters should be. Do all the capitals first, right? And then reread the whole thing. Does it make sense? Go back and look just for punctuation. Did you skip any? Did you leave anything out? Do you maybe need to change it? Okay, and finally, check the spelling on those words. All right, make sure you write down this chart in your notebook so that you have a good idea of what it means to edit your own paper, and you might have to edit somebody else's someday.